Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
It is April, and we are here again together, just like we love to be
Yes,
together.
love.
I am Betsy Kreider. I am with Be Creative Stamping. And my sidekick over here is Mary Ellen Stites, and she is Create with ME. And we are here to present our Stamp It Your Way cards for April.
Yes, I'm so excited about this month. I'm excited every month. Let's just be honest. I love to create with you guys, and I love creating with Betsy, and we have so much fun together.
We
Kind of
do.
get goofy
We
sometimes.
do, we do. Well, April's
Yeah.
a goofy month already because actually it's our birthday month.
Yes, it is.
You
We
and me,
celebrate our
baby.
birthdays in April together.
We do, we do. We are April birthday babies, and April is a big month also because it is the last chance list. We have two fantastic catalogs that are retiring. We've got the annual catalog and the spring catalog, both retiring at the end of this month. I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
I think probably a good 80% of the products are gone out of that, are going away out of that annual catalog, wouldn't you say?
It's a lot. It's really a lot, but you know what that means? That makes room for some really awesome new products. So I'm not really complaining about that. I know. I'm so excited for everybody to get and see their new catalogs because it's so different, but it's different in such a good way. I think
Very much.
everyone's gonna love it.
I think so.
Don't
You
you
know,
think?
being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, one of the best perks about being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator is I get this before anybody else does. And I get to drool and mark mine up and write in it and highlight things and do all kinds of things to it and just love on it as much as possible. So the great thing about being a demonstrator is we get it early.
I love that you've got all those tabs already marked too. You are so ready. You are so much more organized than me. I'm just like, ah.
I spent one entire day just organizing this catalog.
I know. What did I say to you? Could I send you mine so you could organize it too? Because you're so good at that. You really are.
I have to. This is my tool. I love this thing. I'm in this thing every day. So, everybody, if you have not gotten a catalog yet, if you don't have a demonstrator or you are interested in one of these catalogs, please reach out to one of us. We would be happy to send you one and show you how much we love it and what all there is to love.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know because
Absolutely.
we want you to have your hands on it too, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the last chance list, so that we are at the countdown to the end of April. Make sure you're shopping that last chance list. There's some great products that are discounted.
Yeah.
So you don't want to miss out on those either. All your
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah,
Mhm,
that's right.
mhm.
So let's talk a little bit about Stamp It Your Way and what that means and why we're here. If this is the first time that you're seeing us, let me just give you a little brief overview. So, first of all, we're really happy that you're joining us. We're going to share 4 beautiful cards using the Trusty Tools bundle. So each month we do this class together. We do a video and we put it up on YouTube, but we also offer it as a product-based class. So it is $35. If we need to ship it, that's additional. But we include 8 projects. So that's 2 of each of the 4 designs that we're sharing with you today. And then we also include product. And it's always at least $20. I think this month we went over $20,
I
but
think
that's
so.
okay because we
I
love
think
you.
so.
But so we do that every month. Our signups are from the 1st of the month till the 10th of the month. So you may have missed this one already, but get ready for the May. We're going to be using new catalog products. Don't tune us out if you just found us on YouTube or you're just watching. Don't tune us out because you didn't subscribe. That's okay because we call this program Stamp It Your Way. And the reason is because we want you to be inspired by the cards that we do, or even if you got the kit, we want you to use what you have at home. And we'll give you the paper and the products. But if you don't have the same stamp set, I think you could probably always find an alternative, right, Betsy?
Oh my
So,
goodness. The
yeah,
amount of stuff I have at my house that I could probably
yeah.
use. Yeah.
So, I mean, you got kind of think of Stamp It Your Way as being an inspiration place because we're going to show you some cards and you're going to be able to take what you have at home if you don't have exactly what we have or if you have different colors and make it your own. And you're going to come up with beautiful cards. So,
And
um,
share it with us. We would
yes,
love to
please.
see what you're making. Please, please, please share with us.
Yes,
Your inspiration helps us become inspired even more, and we need that.
always.
So please
Yes,
share.
that's the most exciting part to me is to see how creative everyone gets. And even if you don't think yours is creative, please share it with us. We have in our video description, we both have our Facebook kind of places for inspiration. So
Mhm.
please
Yep.
share with us. So are you ready to get started?
Let's go.
This is a Trusty Tools in case you haven't seen the stamp set, and there are dies that go along with it. And like we said earlier, we're super excited that the stamp set and the whole bundle, I think, has is returning in the new catalog. They will be separate; they won't be at a bundled price, but they're both
Right.
in there. So
Always
we
good to get it at that 10% discount while you
yeah.
can.
Yeah. So if you're getting this in April and you haven't got it, snag it now because you'll get 10% extra. And who doesn't want a little savings? But I was super excited. I don't know about you, Betsy, but I was super excited that it returned because it was one of those stamp sets that I kept putting off because Father's Day's in June, right? So I was
Mhm.
just like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. But my husband's birthday's in April too. So I think this is a great stamp set that I'm glad that we have some great cards using
Absolutely.
this. So this stamp set and dies, and then I talked about exclusive. We talked about exclusive paper, and this paper, and I've got all bits and pieces here, but this is like a little toolbox. We're giving you a whole pack of this paper, little nuts and bolts, screws, all kinds of tools, and these are two different sheets. So you'll see there's round saw blades on this one, and there's wood saws there and different patterns. And I've kind of got a mishmash. There's hammers and again, little screws and bolts and screwdrivers.
It's just a nice paper because
It's
even if you don't want like really bright with all the tools, there's so many really good like background papers like that one. That's a
yeah,
really good
like this
background
one,
paper.
kind of mimics a pegboard, but it's just a nice background. And then I love this one with the
The
ruler. So
ruler.
yeah, super cute.
Mhm.
I'm going to set that out of the way, and then I'm going to bring in the memories and more. So we talked about what we gave everybody that signed up this package of memories and more, and it's called Sweet Thoughts, Memories and More. And you'll see right here, I'm going to pull them out. You'll see right here where we were going with it. So we've got that cute little paintbrush. So this is like the feminine side, right? I think
Mhm.
definitely the feminine side, and you get all these beautiful cards. And if you signed up for Stamp It Your Way in the tutorial, we will give you, oh, I love this one. I took this card out. This card,
Mm.
do what makes her so happy. I think I do that every day. But
You could
anyway,
add that to like a little frame, like a little three by
right?
four frame or something. Put it right on the corner of your desk or something, and
So,
just
so
that it
good.
makes you smile every day. Yeah.
And what's fun about Memories and More kits are that these are actually adhesive little stickers. So see how that comes off, and you can use these. There is two sheets of 3 designs. So these are all stickers that you can use in your memory keeping, on your card making. And today I'm going to use some stickers from this sheet right here. So I'm going to pull this one out. And then there's like 4x6 cards. I don't know if they're 4x6, but I think they're close to that.
I think
And they
so.
are so pretty, great for memory keeping. Let me find the one that I'm using. I gotta find it. It's right back here. So I'm going to use this card right here. Beautiful, amazing, fabulous, lovely, and wonderful on my card. So I'm going to
Mhm.
pull it out. I'm going to show you how I get it ready. So that's the memories and more. So these are fantastic to make really quick cards. They're great in your memory keeping, of course. And like Betsy said, this one's great just framing it, right?
Yeah,
So
and
cute.
there are cards and envelopes that match it too. So there are
Yes.
cards, the card bases and envelopes that are perfect for these. You just kind of put them on the front and you're good to go.
Yeah, that's for sure. So let me show. Are you ready to see my first card?
Absolutely.
I
Oh
hope
my
so.
gosh, it's
So
so cute.
I'm doing this card, and it's super easy because you're using the Memories of More, and it says you are amazing, beautiful, fabulous, lovely, and wonderful. I mean, who who do you, I mean, just think about who you want to send this to. I can think of some people that I think are all those things. So inside your packet, you're going to get your card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to kind of move some of these things around here. You're
Mhm.
also going to get your layering for the inside. So this one's 5 by 3 3/4, and then 5 1/4 by 4. And then you're going to need a piece for stamping your little
I
paintbrushes. So
Is
I'm
that
going to,
Calypso coral for the inside?
yes, Calypso Coral, and this is Pretty Peacock. Thank you for asking. I should have said that because that
No, that's
sometimes
alright. I
people
just
don't.
never would have put Calypso coral and Pretty Peacock together.
I know. I know, but look, you've got it right here. So this is my
Right.
inspiration, right? So you've got the Pretty Peacock and the Calypso Coral, and they really work really, really
They
beautifully
do. I
together.
would not have done that, but that's like they're really pretty together.
And I think that this little sticker here, see how it's metallic? It's
Mhm.
copper. So I think copper goes so great with both of those. So I
Right.
think that too. So let's, before we go to the Memories of More part, let's just do a little bit of stamping. And the pieces you're going to need is a little paintbrush. You're going to need the little piece that fills. Oops, I'm off camera. I should go this
You're
way.
there. You're good. You're good. There you
Okay.
go.
And then the this tiny crazy piece, I'm going to show you what that's for. So we're going to start with the Memento ink, and I'm going to stamp the paintbrush 5 times because I need it. I need 5 of them. I'm only going to show you one, but I want to show you how I lay those out. So we gave you enough scrap paper, or if you're doing this on your own, you can do it, however you want. You're going to start with a black if you want. I'm doing black. And then I'm going to bring in some smoky slate for the handle of my paintbrush. And that's this one right here. And so I'm going to ink it up right like that. I'm just going to do one now. And then this crazy color, right, this crazy piece right here is the paint on the end of my paintbrush. So I'm
Oh,
going
is that
to,
what that's for?
yeah. So I'm going to
Hmm.
bring in, I think I'm going to do the Calypso Coral because I want to show you a little thing that I did. So I'm going to ink that up. And sometimes the corners of my pads have more ink on them. Am I on the camera?
Yep,
And
you're good.
so you'll see, let me show you that stamp. So let me get it under the camera. So
There you go.
there's kind of a wiggle wobbly edge, and then there's kind of one that's wavy. The wiggly edge is for the top, and I like to actually ink mine twice and stamp it so that I get really good color. So see what a
Mhm.
difference if I'm going to show you if I stamp it once. I'm going to stamp it once here. And it just really makes this pop. And then too, if you missed a couple of the ends, you can go back over it. You're going to cut it out, so it doesn't matter that I went off a little bit. And then to finish it, I'm taking I just thought that wild wheat, a light wild wheat,
Mhm.
was the perfect color for the bristles of my paintbrush. They just remind me of what I've seen at the paint store or at the home
Yep.
improvement store, that kind of that color. So that's what I did. That's how I got my
Cute.
yeah, bristles, kind of that what do they make bristles out of? Mohair, or I don't
I
know what they
think
call it.
there's different ones. Yeah, like you can get
Yeah.
synthetic, you can actually get ones that are, yeah, pretty expensive ones.
Okay, so I would take that and cut them out. You'll have to run it through the stamp cut and emboss machine. I just use the mini on mine, and what's nice is it cuts a little hole out. So you'll see on mine. I just want to make this clear. It doesn't cover everything, and that's okay. It's kind of the look. And so what I did is I have them all cut out for you, and each one's going to color coordinate with the colors here. So we've got peacock and garden green and pecan pie. Uh, this is crushed curry and calypso coral. Those are my 5 colors on my paintbrush. So I want to show you how I cut this card down. Let me bring in my paper trimmer. And what I'm going to do to begin with, let me get it in the camera, is I am going to cut off, let me see if I can do this right. 2 3/4. So 2 3/4. I'm cutting that off because that way you'll see here in a minute. If I cut that off, then I can use this piece, or look, I can use this piece for a card. Okay. So
Pretty.
this one we don't need for this. Save it for another project. Now, to do these, I'm going to cut them, and I just line it up with my chamber here and down here. And you should be able to cut them pretty cleanly. And you're going to separate each color. Let me get that out of the track. All right. It's pretty easy to get it, pretty accurate.
I love how the card just makes that easy for you. It's not like you have to watercolor. You don't have to
Nope.
put ink on anything.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
pulling it right from those pieces.
Yes, super easy. Okay, I think I'm done with that. And then I want to go ahead now and start assembling my card. So I'm going to just give you a few tips on this.
So
the
amazing, beautiful, fabulous card, do they get 2 of those in their Memories and More pack?
Yes, you
So
get
they could
2
make
of
2
them.
of these cards. Okay, good.
Yes, they can make 2. Yes, that's what's great about Memories and More. There's 2 of every card. So
Excellent.
So what I like to do is I'm going to start with the middle. So I got the middle, and then I've got amazing, and I've got fabulous. Just want to make sure I'm in the camera, and I'm going to keep lovely and wonderful for my inside and give you some tips on that. So I want to kind of get things, I'll say semi lined up, because that makes me feel like I want to make sure I'm staying on the card. I want to make sure that I'm kind of not covering up any words. I can come down to the middle. So what I like to do is really have everything lined out just like this. All right. And then this last one, I want the same distance. So I'm going to go way down here
Get your
and
spacing all figured out.
yeah, bring in my garden green. So before I glue all that down, what I can do now is I can actually take these strips. There's 2 of them. And I can go ahead and lay that right here. So I haven't taped anything down, but it's going to help me.
Right.
It's going to help me when I do. Okay.
Keep your spacing.
Yes. So I just
Mhm.
move that just a little bit, but it just helps me keep that. And you can see I've gone over, but that's okay. I'm going to snip that off with my snips here in a minute. I just want to get that spacing down. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in my adhesive. I'm using Seal. Okay. And now I can just know that I can go equidistance.
It's a great tip. Great idea.
Yeah, it's really easy that way. It's just like a lot of things we do, right? We want to, when we're doing construction, what do they say? Measure twice, cut once. And so it's the same way. We're giving ourselves, we're laying everything out, and then
Right.
we're deciding. So I want to have dimensionals on these.
Paper literally looks like you've streaked paint across it, right? So it has
Doesn't it?
that light to dark look, like it looks like it's coming off the paintbrush.
Yeah, it really does. It's fun. It's just super fun. All right, so I found my dimensionals.
And just so you know who is amazing, beautiful, fabulous, lovely, and wonderful?
Yes, you are.
I am. I think you should send me that card.
How did I know you were going to say that?
I'm
You are my
thinking I
bestie.
need this card.
Yes, this is who I had in mind, and I'm sure that everyone who's watching can think of somebody in their life that is all these things. I think that's so interesting that you said that, because I think that so many times we don't take the time to tell the people in our lives. Really, women don't hear it enough, like how amazing and beautiful and fabulous and lovely and wonderful that they really are. And I think it's our job to tell each other. So
I think so too. I
that's
think
my
that's a really great sentiment. Yeah.
that's my public statement there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want the UR. Are you seeing how fun this is? That these are little
I thought you
stickers.
stamped that.
Totally
I thought you
stickers. Look at
stamped
how
that and
cute
then
that
cut
is.
it out. Look at
No,
you.
total stickers. So, so cute. So there's the front of my card. Easy peasy.
Nice.
Okay. But now we're going to do some fun inside. So I'm going to get mine out here so you can see it while I'm doing it. All right. So I'm going to do the same thing with my lovely, but now we have to run that. Just you see the difference? I've got to
Oh,
trim
it's
that
a little
off.
bit
So
longer.
yeah, it's a little bit longer. So I'm going to cut that with my snips, and I'm going to take this one, and I'm just going to use it as a template and cut it so that they're the same.
There you go.
Yeah. And no dimensionals on the inside, because of course then we would not be able to close our card. So I'm going to run that right off the page on this one. And I just need a little bit of room in between to write the word and I'm going to show you, I'm going to give myself just a little bit more room. Hopefully I can do that. All right, so now I'm going to use a Stampin' Write marker. You can use a pen. You can use any color you want. I'm just going to use black, and I'm just going to try to use my best handwriting. Now, when I did this one, I used one of the old pens, and it's kind of fine.
Little, yeah,
And
more of a
yeah,
fine tip,
this
but I
is
like these new tips. These new
this
tips
is
are
a new
amazing.
bullet tip, and it's going to be a little bolder. And I'm just going to do just a fun. I'm just doing a little bit of, so you
Yeah,
can see you're lovely and wonderful. I just have a little bit of extra
just a little
ta-da.
personal touch.
Yeah. Okay. And then like I said, we don't need any dimensionals. We're just going to add our paintbrush. So we want to make sure we're staying on. Whoops, I got a little bit. I think I probably would put that down just a smidge, so I'm not covering that beautiful
There you
swoosh.
go.
There we go. And lovely. Okay, and then mount it to the inside on the Calypso Coral layer, and then we'll mount that inside our card. And that's all there is to that one.
That's a great quick card. And those memories and more, those cards make it so nice.
Oh, and I can't wait. Some of the cards that we've shared with everybody are so pretty, but honestly, let me see if I can find it here quickly. I love everything about this page right here, with this beautiful butterfly and this paintbrush and today smile happy. I love this little tag here. I
Yep.
just can't wait to play with that, honestly. Now that you have it, if you've got the kit, please do some cards with it and show us what you've done. Okay,
Cute.
so let me clear off a little, and I'm going to show you my second card. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to bring the card in first. I've got some dimensionals on. I've done a little fancy fold. Let me move that. Okay, so here's my second card. It says Happy Day, and it just unwinds. You're the most awesome dad. And then it comes out.
Look at that.
Thank you. So this could be for Father's Day. This could be for a birthday, I think. And then I made the little pencil into a little exclamation point. So I just said thank you.
Cute.
And so let me show you. This is not hard. This is super easy. And these are the pieces that you're going to need to complete it. So you're going to need to cut your 12 by 12 down to 5 1/4 by 12. You don't have to cut it, just 5 1/4. And then you're going to score it every 2 inches. So 2, 4, 6, 8. And I've done that in advance. And I'm going to show you that it's just an easy little accordion. You can see how that accordion folds just like that. So that's how easy it is. 2, 4, 6, 8, and that leaves you 4
Nice.
inches. Yeah, super easy. So then you're going to take your, this is the size of a card, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And we can go ahead. I'm going to give this a little burnish because sometimes when you're doing a fancy fold, you need that to stay down a little bit. There, much better. Okay.
Need a little extra love.
Yeah, so there's no reason why this, I've run out of tape, so I'm going to go to my handy dandy liquid glue, get me out of a little pinch here. And I got a lot on that. But I'm going to go ahead and mount that right on my card. So there we've got basically the card, and all we've got to do is decorate it. So I'm going to give you a couple little tips. This little piece that we've cut here, now I'm going to show you first. You would think, okay, those are 2 inches. So if you put 2 inches by 5 1/4, it actually leaves a little. Can you see the white there?
Just shows a little bit.
Yeah. So if you wonder why it needs to be about 1 7/8 or some crazy number that Betsy doesn't like when I have that, but there's a
Those gosh
reason.
darn 7/8.
I know there's a reason for it, because we want to hide it. We want to have our card be really clean. So let's bring in all the little pieces, and we've got some the deckled circles, and I've got the pieces that I used right here. You just need 3 sizes. We've got crushed curry, the largest. We've got Rio red is the second, and white, which goes on here. And then the smaller one goes here. Okay. So that's why you need 3, because the red and the small white, or the bigger white, are the same size. And so the next thing is I'm going to bring in this paper while you're watching TV or just sitting. Betsy loves the fussy cut. So what
Oh,
I
just you
did,
wait. Just you wait till you see mine. Just you wait.
I love to too. And so I just fussy cut a whole bunch of little tools, and they're going to be different than the ones I had on my card. I just had these still in the pile. And what I like to do is, when I do that, I just take a clear envelope and I put them in there, and then I have them all ready for all kinds of cards, right? Don't you do that too?
I actually, the clear envelope is sitting on my desk.
Exactly. Exactly. So we're going to do a little bit of stamping, and then we're going to add all our little tools, and we can do it, stamp it your way, however we want. So I'm going to start out with the words Happy Father's Day, but I just want happy and day. And I love to do this. So I'm just going to, because it's clear, I can see happy, and I'm going to keep my words kind of down here to the left, and I'm going to bring in my Bammy, just because I want to keep it good and clean between words. Then I'm going to just stamp the word day. Happy day. Oh, happy day.
Cute.
So nice. All right. Let me set that out of the way. So now we've got our decal circle ready to be mounted. I'm going to use a little bit of liquid adhesive. And I can just mount it. You can mount it. Actually, I'm going equal, but there's no reason why you have to. You could go up and do something completely different. But I thought the decal edge was fun with this
The
saw
saw
blade,
blade,
this
it
round saw
totally makes
blade.
sense.
So
Yeah.
cute, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now you have to just, the biggest, hardest thing is, I'm going to get that out of there, is remembering that I only want adhesive on half of it. I only want it on that half. So kind of using my fingers. I just want to make sure. Sometimes when I'm on camera, I get a little goofy and I forget. So I'm going to go on the conservative side.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to, I'm so fearful that and you could go up, down, I'm going to go pretty much kind of in the middle. Maybe it's a little high off center. All right. So that's my first one. And now it's ready. I'm ready. Maybe I'll just do the second one and then we'll decorate. So on my second one, and I'll bring it out here so you have it to look at, I am going to stamp with crushed curry. And I'm sorry, I'm reaching across everything. The word dad, full strength. I'm going to stamp the word dad right here in the middle. Well, my ink's a little dry. I don't know. Can I do it? I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to do it. Try it anyway.
You can line it up. I have faith. You can do it.
I don't know. I'm not. It's not bad. It's not horrible, but it's a little. It just wasn't very dark. Then I'm going to use my pecan pie, and I'm going to say, "You're the most awesome, Dad. You're the most awesome. You've got an awesome dad." My dad's not with us anymore, but you've got an awesome dad, Betsy.
My dad, yeah, my dad's pretty amazing. I'm pretty blessed to still have my dad around. So he
Yes,
is He is my rock, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's really nice. So I'm
But
going
the
to
funny
use.
thing is, though, these cards aren't really for him. He's not much of a fix-it kind of
Oh, it's not.
guy.
He's not.
Oh, no, he's not. Usually it's like if he got the hammer out to fix something, everybody in the house just learned to back up because something was going to break.
Oh, you're cracking me up. Okay, well, I may have paused. We went to all 4 screens. I don't know. Hopefully, I've got some edited it out. So, okay, so now I'm going to let me close this up because I think I'm done with that one, and I'm just going to glue that on to my red. And then the same thing, I'm going to make sure the biggest thing is making sure that I'm underneath the one that's in front of it.
Making sure it lines up.
Just making sure that when it closes that it's covering it. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to at least be covering it. It could actually go out a little bit, but I'm going to leave it like that. All right. So I don't have another level, but I've got this fun little saw here. So I'm going to use that on my inside just as a little element. I'm going to go down so that I get plenty of it in the pictures, just like that. Just there.
That's cute.
That. A little bit above and a little bit below. And then we can decorate. So now I'm going to use I know I want to use my blade, and I can go all the way up here because that is not going to be gluing my card together. And then how about we use this red pliers. This is pliers, wrench. I don't know. I'm not good at tools.
I'm not much for the tools either, so I don't really know. Maybe it's a wrench. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. We're really good at this, aren't we?
We are. We are. I think it's a wrench.
Okay.
I think the pliers are on your other card.
Oh, yes, those are pliers. I guess I think like a pipe wrench or something. So
maybe
we'll go with
now
that.
you're getting super fancy with a pipe wrench.
I know. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's just pretend like I know. And then a screwdriver that I do know. I was doing a video one day and I couldn't remember what this was called. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's a screwdriver. Okay, so now we're just going to finish with the word thank you, which I did not get out. So let me grab that. I was prepared for everything except the word thank you. And we're going to use a block that I have sitting right here and mount that, sticking to my fingernails. And we're going to stamp that in pecan pie.
One of my new favorite colors. I love pecan pie.
Except I did that thing again that I do. So hold on. I've been doing this a lot. I know you guys been watching. I'm splitting my words because thank you did not fit. So I'm just going to write the word thank, and I'm going to clean my stamp.
Bring your ink pad over just a little bit, hon.
And
there we go.
Stamp the word you, ink it. And I'm going to put it right down here. Thank you.
Well, it just shows you that you have so much more versatility to the set because you can do so much more with it. You know what I mean? You can add. Well, you're really testing yourself today.
Well, I don't love that I didn't catch it all. Look at. I know. I know. Don't those bother you sometimes? You're just like.
So yes, more often than it should. I always tell my friends as we're stamping, it's like it's a homemade card. Nobody's gonna notice, but it'll still be something that would drive me crazy. Yeah.
I know. Isn't that funny? Okay.
Yep.
Probably gonna get a little pixelated here. It's storming again.
There you go. You're in and out a little bit, but no, it looks good now. You're good.
Okay, and then every good pencil is that beautiful yellow, I don't know, Ticonderoga, I'm thinking. So there's our thank you with a little exclamation point, or it will be
number 2 pencil, right? Isn't that what you're supposed to have in school?
Number two,
Mm-hmm.
Ticonderoga. And I'm going to put that on the inside here for a place for me to sign my name.
Mm-hmm.
And all we have to do is embellish this card. So I brought out the cork, little cork dots. Cork adhesive back cork rounds.
Mine for my folks, I did not, I was not able to get the corks before they sold. I think they might be sold
Oh,
out by now.
do you
So, or
want?
they were unavailable, I think, when I tried to order them. But I'll just be sending you some other rustic metallic ones that'll work just fine, I think.
So I'm gonna add a couple of these, and you may get cork rounds, you may get something else. It depends on uh what kit you got, I guess. So
Yeah,
I'm
there
gonna
was some availability. They were pretty popular, and the availability, I think, went out whenever by the time I wanted to grab them. So,
yeah,
um, but I
and then
think
I'm
just some
gonna do,
regular metallic, rustic metallic ones would work too on this.
right, I think so too. So then
Yeah,
I added a little dot for my exclamation point, and there's my card, just like that.
cute.
Just a fun, so keep this in mind, even if you're not using the tools, this fun fold that you can put any kind of images. You're just going to, make sure you're not gluing them, and just a 2, 4, 6, 8 fold on a 12-inch piece of paper. So there's my this card. So
So I have two cards that I'm doing, but I did want to show the dies quickly.
oh, good.
And these are the dies that go with this set. And one of the things I wanted to point out was that as much as I do love to fussy cut, I am a fussy cutting girl. And there's that plastic sleeve you were talking about. Look at all
Yeah.
these tools, tools and
Oh,
tools and
I
tools,
know.
right?
I had a lot. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yes, tools and tools, right? Yeah. So I do love to fussy cut, but there are dies in here that will cut these out. So this, you do not have to fussy cut.
Right.
That die cuts out the tool in the paper. And so there are other tools, the wrench. I think there's one in here that'll cut out the wrench. And there's the, or what's this one? What's this one? Is this the wrench?
They're both wrenches.
Are they both wrenches?
Yes,
We
they're
are
just
terrible at
different
this. We
kinds.
probably should have gotten a lesson before doing this, but
Well, I do know that tool because I use that one when I'm yeah, that's in my tool belt. So
there you
I do
go.
know
There you
that
go.
one.
There's a little one for the pencil, right? So the little pencil right there, there is a die that also cuts out the little pencil. So the dies are great because they do cut out all these little tools. You do not need to fussy cut. So there are tools that here that'll do that for you. There's a little pegboard die that you can create your own little pegboard for these. All kinds of little nuts and bolts and screws and all just kind of little pieces. So this is it's a really great set for anything like that. So for one of my cards, I have some of these pieces. I'll do that card actually second, but I'm going to kind of throw all my little pieces out. But this is nice. You just like, I keep mine in with my stamp set. So if I pull my stamp set out, then I have this already like pre-cut. They're already just kind of in there and ready to go when I'm ready. Okay.
I'm in
The,
awe. I am totally in awe of that stack of tools. That's just amazing to me.
I was sitting somewhere and I was like, I was at an event and I was just like, I was at that kind of like stopping point where I didn't really want to start something new. And I thought, what am I going to do? So I just pulled out sheets of designer series paper and just started fussy cutting, visiting with my friends and fussy cutting at the same time. So it worked out well.
I I love that card. It's so
This card,
colorful. It's so pretty.
isn't it
It
cute?
makes me happy. That card really makes me happy.
Right. I showed it to a couple of people and they were like, oh, is that one stamp? I didn't know that was one stamp. Well, no, it's one pencil stamp. But I'm going to show you
That's
how
okay.
easy it is to make that. Everybody looks at that and is like, oh, I can't stamp that. Yes, you can. This is very easy.
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
So what we're going to do here is I have got Lost Lagoon, which is just our card base. And then I've got some designer series paper that is this grid paper. Do you remember this for school? I remember this kind of paper in school. Do you
I
remember
do.
that?
Yeah, I think we
Right?
had packs. It came in packages, like
Yeah.
a bound paper.
Yeah. Grid, ground. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we use it a
This
lot.
ribbon is actually a celebration ribbon. It was a pool party crinkle, I think it was called. Yeah, crinkle ribbon. It was during celebration, but we're going to send you a couple pieces of that so that you can use that on your card. And then a piece for the greeting. It's a 3/4 inch piece. Now, what I want to do is I have a piece that's going to be for the inside, right? So what I want to do is, let me just see here. Yeah, I have a piece for the inside. It's probably a good idea just to practice here on the inside piece first. and your envelope, which I don't have an envelope, but you can see how I did that. I'm going to ink up my pencil. All right. Try not to get my thumb in the ink pad. Ink up my pencil, and I find that it's easier to stamp it this way versus this way.
Yes.
You've got a little bit of a glare. Let me come up a little bit. I find it easier to go this way versus this way. I find it easier to kind of line it up where I want it to be. So I'm going to stamp one pencil right there. Am I worried about it being straight? No. And this one, I'm going to intentionally not try to go straight. I'm going to line it up a little bit close to it, but it's not exactly straight. It's not exactly even, but that's okay. I'm doing that on purpose. See? They're not the same width together. It does not matter because you're just adding some accent of these pencils for the inside piece. Now for the front, when you go to start your front, what I did was I did use my grid paper a little bit here to kind of figure out where my center is. So I want to find out, that looks about center. Actually, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go this way. And that looks about center there, right? Does that look like about center there?
I love grid paper for that reason. I think those nice dark lines right down the middle really help you a lot. So
yep. And I'm looking at this line.
Yeah, and I don't know if people realize that you can actually, someone asked me the other day, actually Wednesday, they said, what about that grid paper? And I said, yep, you can buy that. A customer can buy that. It's in the catalog.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sorry, I have a shadow like right there. You see it?
Okay.
It's from my overhead light. It's just causing the shadow right in the middle. So hopefully it's not too distracting.
It's clear.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the middle. So I know I'm going to lean over a little bit here. And I'm going to start right where my middle is. And I'm going to stamp my pencil. Now, I actually stamped this 22 times. 22 times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go one direction and then I'm going to turn and go the other direction. So what I'm doing is I'm just lining it. I'm lining them up, but intentionally not lining them together.
So
right?
Offsetting
it just a little bit, coming down. That one's a little bit closer than the other one. That's okay. Then I'm going to kind of bring this one up a little bit. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I build one complete side. You see it?
Yeah.
So I have 11 here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 11 on the other side. Okay. So I've done 11 on one direction. I'm going to just now keep going. Teetering them all over the place, just kind of going up and down. You can go with some extremes.
We've seen the finished product, so we know it's so worth it.
Right, exactly. So you're just going to continue doing that. And does it matter? Do you see anything that's like, oh, well, that's too close there. That's too far away there. It does not matter. It does not matter. Right? So that what you'll get, I did it like from the middle to one side and then the middle to the other side so that I eventually got this as my finished product. And is it exactly even on even sides? Maybe not. It all depends on how close I got. It's not an exact science. It's just stamping. That's all. It's just stamping.
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted to create like a rainbow effect. That's what my goal was here, to kind of create that rainbow effect going across the front. So these are the colors that I'm working with. And I'm going to hold this up a little close so you can kind of see them. I'm using, all of these are my blends. And I'm using all of the light markers. There's the Real Red, Calypso Coral, Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, Old Olive, Lost Lagoon, Azure. I could never say that. Did I say that right?
I think it's, yeah.
Azure Afternoon.
Azure
Afternoon. That one, that blue one right there. Blueberry Bushel, Moody Mauve, and Berry Burst. So what I did was I started to color. So if I start with like my Real Red first, I'm just coloring in two of them. So I'm coloring in, and I did two per color, 2 pencils per color. So 2 red, 2 Calypso, 2 daffodil. You know, I just did 2 of them for each one. That's why I wanted like 22 of these.
Oh.
right? So each of them are the same. Then what I'm doing is I'm coloring them down. I'm letting these colors kind of dry as I go, right? So that later, let's say that I'm way down here and I'm doing my berry burst last, right? So I'm going to do my berry burst as my last set. Because you don't need to see me color, but I want to show you a little tip here. Now I could have used my dark. I could have used the light and the darks, but I just used the light. Because you can actually get a darker tone with the light as well if you just let it dry for a little bit and then go over it again.
Oh, I wonder, because I'm like, those are not the same.
They're not the same, right? You see the different
Yeah.
shading, right?
Yes.
So what I did was after that kind of dried a little bit, I went back and the very first one of the two, I colored again.
Okay,
and by coloring
everybody,
again, it makes it
down.
slightly darker
Brilliant.
than the one next to it.
Brilliant. I
Right?
couldn't figure it out. I thought you used light and dark.
Light and dark, light and dark, light and dark,
Oh,
right?
that's
But no,
great.
if I just go in and
Yeah.
add more color to it,
Yes.
still using the light, it just gets a little bit darker than the other one. You see
So
that?
much easier than having 22 pens on your desk.
Right. Instead, you only have 11.
That's right. That's right.
Right. So
Great.
here's the end product, right? So you can kind of see how they get a little darker. Whoops. They get a little darker as they go. I guess I was coloring that the wrong direction. I guess it
That's
doesn't matter
okay.
which way your
Doesn't
pencils
matter.
go, up or
That's
down,
right. No.
right? I think this one I was coloring them with it down, this one with her going up, but I don't think it matters. Okay. Cute, right?
It'd be so great for a teacher, wouldn't it?
It would. It
We're
would.
getting
It
toward
would
the end
really
of the
would.
school year. And I think May is Teacher Appreciation Month. So
That's a great idea.
I think that would be such a great card for teachers. I love it.
So I'm just putting my grid paper here on the front. Or do they call that graph paper? Is it graph paper?
No, yeah, maybe.
Graph, grid, something like that. For the ribbon, I actually just used my Stampin' seal and I just ran it right down like the center of the ribbon. Actually, I guess I gotta put this piece on first. Whoopsie.
You could.
That would help. Put that piece on. There we go. And now I can stick my ribbon down right into the center. And then you can just trim off. We gave you about 6 inches. You can just trim it. I kind of did mine in an angle. Like that. Right. And then for the greeting, I am using Lost Lagoon. And this would be like with the thank you, it would be a good teacher one now that you say that. Thank you would make that perfect. And I'm going to center this there. And then I did the same thing as far as the cut on this. I went ahead and just angled it. You know, some people do that on their paper trimmer, and I'm just one of those that just kind of like wings it. I just wing it.
I wing it. I'm a winger.
It's a handmade card. It's a handmade card. And then some dimensionals to pop that up. And that's going to go in the center over my ribbon. There you go. And then you can color your pieces or your pencils for the inside and have that go inside. And then you would have your envelope to match. And there is your card. So again, I'll kind of go through those colors with you. And it's in the instructions. Like if you signed up for this in your tutorial, it would be written in your tutorial. But if you didn't get the packet, just so you know, Real Red, Calypso Coral, Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, Old Olive, Lost Lagoon, Azure Afternoon, Blueberry Bushel, Moody Mauve, and Berry Burst are the colors that I used to get that rainbow effect. There you go.
Does yours have diamonds on it? What
It does. You're right. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. I almost
I
forgot.
don't know.
How do
I
you
can't
forget
tell if it's rhinestones. Oh yeah, rhinestones. Yay!
rhinestones? How do you forget the bling? You can't forget the bling. So
I
yes,
love
I
it.
just used a couple of rhinestones. You could, you know what would be really cute too? If you did Winka Stella.
I was just gonna say Winka Stella would be pretty.
Winka Stella would be pretty if you added Winka Stella like down each center of each of the pencils, or just highlighted like certain colors or every other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that
super
card.
simple,
I love it.
right? Just super simple. So there is my first card. So let me clean that up a little bit and get that out of the way. Make sure I don't put my fingers in my ink pad. It's been known to happen. Okay. The second card that I have is this one. Actually, let me pull this one in instead. Okay, so here's my second card. Happy Father's Day. And then I wanted to do a fancy fold as well. So mine is an easel card. See how that
Cute.
sits? And then it's got the dad. So it has Happy Father's Day. And then it's got like dad here. Now I want to show you this, but if you don't have a dad, right? So like if your dad is gone, or maybe you think maybe I want to send this to my son or something like that, you wouldn't have to put the dad in here. You could actually use one of those tools to pop it up instead. Because you actually said something earlier that made me kind of chuckle a little bit. You said, oh, well, we don't do dimensionals in the inside because we want it to be able to be flat, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I actually do need dimensionals in the inside on this one in order to be able to create that easel and get it to hold that back.
That's
So
right.
I could do a tool here and have dimensionals on the tool to help hold that if you didn't want to use the word dad here. Just
Great.
another way of doing it, right? You're the most awesome dad. Okay, so let's show how to do this. This is super easy. All right, I have also with this product, what I used are, you're going to get, you are going to get a nested essential. This is going to be pre-die cut for you. It will not be embossed. So you'll need to emboss it at home with something that you're embossing with. I used this folder, and oh my gosh, do you remember what the name of it is?
No,
I
it's
don't
just
either.
it's exactly like what you would have in your garage, isn't it? That's
It does
steel.
look like that. Yeah. And I think it comes in this suite, doesn't it? But I can't remember the name of it. Oh my gosh,
I
I'm so
cannot.
sorry.
I do not know.
I do not remember the name of it. But yes, you could use any embossing folder that you have at home. This is the one that I use to kind of make it look like that tool chest. So in your packet, we did use the nested essentials. You'll use a folder of your choice. We
I'll see if
have.
I
if you can
love
look it
that
up.
the nested essentials are returning too.
Yes, those dies are they're like very nice universal dies.
That folder is called the Metal Plate 3D folder.
There you go. Metal plate 3D folder. So that's what I emboss mine with. Yours will not be embossed. You can then emboss it with anything that you have at home. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to fold my card base in half first. Okay. So I fold my card base, use my bone folder. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my designer series paper to the front. And this is the one with the little nuts and screws and all of that. So I'm going to, this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to add a little extra glue to this, all right, because I'm going to end up scoring this so that it creates my front. But I want to let this glue set up for a second while this does this. So I'm going to put that on there, and then I'm going to set that aside. Okay. Now what we can do is we can do a little bit of stamping. So I have a piece for my greeting for on the front, and I'm going to use Happy Father's Day here. And I'm using Real Red. And this Real Red ink pad is new and pretty juicy.
Unlike mine that was not juicy.
Yeah, this one almost is a little bit too juicy in some ways because it's a little blurry. I'm not getting the greatest stamping with it because it's almost too juicy a little bit. And if you ever have that, by the way, you can take a spoon and kind of push the ink down or off to the side. Some people use a bone folder to do that as well. just to kind of move some of that ink around. Some people actually siphon it off with a paper towel. That to me, I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose all that ink. I just kind of push it off to the side.
Yeah, agree.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut a flag end on either end of my greeting here. Doesn't have to be perfect. So there's a little flag end on my greeting. I also have in your packet a piece of paper, and this is what you're going to use to stamp the word dad, right? So I stamped dad, and you should be able to get 2 of them on here. As soon as I figure out what I did with the stamp, there it is. So if you're using dad, great. So I think you have enough on here that you could do this. You might want a mat. Make sure you have a mat because this is photopolymer. But you should be able to get 2. I have something on my stamp, it looks like. But you should be able to get 2 of those on there, and then you can fussy cut those out to have those letters to pop up. But if you don't want to use the word dad, or you want to just use a tool, you could do that too. All right, so there is that piece. And then I have a strip of designer series paper. We always end up with all these little strips left over. I'm going to use that for the inside. I kind of liked it down here at the bottom. And then I'm going to stamp my inside as well. So I'm going to say, "You're the most awesome." I'm kind of putting that over here. There we go. And then I'm going to add a couple little tools, the little nuts and screws and bolts and things like that. I'm using, again, Pebbled Path. I'm just adding a couple little accents there. I did that also with my envelope, as you can see. Okay. Now, get rid of that and move this. I can add this designer series paper right here to the bottom. I kind of felt like it broke it up a little bit better to have the dad on here. So here's the one that has the DSP at the bottom. So you can kind of see the difference. And here's one that does not. I had a note to kind of add that. Do you see the difference it makes?
Yeah, it's nice.
I think the dad pops better with that, don't you?
Yeah, it does. I do.
Oh, excuse me. I need a drink. And we always have extra pieces of designer series paper sitting around. So I just took a little piece here. I'm going to add that down here at the bottom. There we go. And I'll trim that up. Excuse me. Just flip that over and trim off my excess. And then this piece is going to go here on the copper clay for my inside. All right. Dad is going to get used in here with some dimensionals. So I'm going to use, I really want it to kind of pop up. So I'm going to make sure I add 2 here, and then I might do 1, and I might do a mini one, just to make sure that these are nice and popped up on my card, because that's what's going to hold my easel up. Okay, so I'm going to do, I did the D on the end first. Right, make sure it's kind of straight. Then I added my A. That, and then I added my other D. There you go. So there's my inside. Now I want to bring in mine. Okay, this has had a chance to dry a little bit, and I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, and I want to score this at 2 1/8. 2 1/8. I want to score it, and you're just going to give it a nice, good score because you're going through 2 layers there. 2 1/8. Then I'm going to fold this down. And what will happen is that it'll fold down and it should kind of match up right with the center of your card. So even if you didn't want to score it, you could just fold this down so that it went towards the center of your card. But I wanted to make sure, because I was going through 2 layers, to get that nice score line in there. Easy, right?
Yeah.
Then my inside can go in. There we go. So that now if I give this a nice crisp fold in the back, it wants to be flat, but now it's going to pop up on that dad. And I had pre-cut a couple of the little, now you could stamp them, but I went ahead and I also pre-cut a couple of the little nuts and bolts and screws here. And you could just kind of glue those down in there just to kind of give it a little bit more. Do not need a lot of glue on these. A little bit goes a long way. There we go. So that again, when this is popped up, you can kind of see them there, right?
Yeah.
Now I want to build the front, and I want this to kind of stand up over top. So just like what you were doing, where you only wanted to glue part of it, I only want to glue part of this down, but I'm actually going to build my whole piece first before I put it on there. So I'm going to bring in, I went ahead and did some fussy cutting with these. You could use the dies to cut some of these out. Okay. And I also tried to think about my colors. So they always have that rule of 3, right? So I tried to go with yellow, 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 right? With the brown, 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 and then the red with the red that kind of matches here and here. So it's like thinking about it in the rule of 3, right?
Right.
So I'm going to put my saw on first, and I'm just using some glue to add that. Just be careful that you don't go too high. I almost went too high with that. Be careful you don't go too high, because again, I don't want it to kind of attach to anything. I just want it to kind of be hanging off my top. Okay, like that. Then I'm going to bring the paintbrush in. I'm going to kind of go like that with it. You could use any tools on this. It does not matter. There's no right way or wrong way to do it. I am going to pop up the greeting. I'm going to use my dimensionals on this. So I'm going to bring my greeting in right about there. I want the pencil to come down through. Actually, I missed a step. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Let me take that off for a second. I thought it needed a little bit of twine, right? So I'm bringing in my linen thread, and I'm just going to kind of swing this around a little bit just to have some little loops going like that. And you could make it even a little smaller if you wanted to. It's about a 10-inch piece. You probably have more than what you need there. There's no right way or wrong way to do this either. Do you do this very often?
Yeah, I tend to do like around my fingers. I haven't done that back and forth. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it just kind of makes it, you know, a little easier to hold, right?
Yeah.
So, and if you need to, you could probably add, maybe what I'll do, kind of winging this here as I go here a little bit. Gonna add a little bit of glue to the back of my pencil. Bring that down around there. And then I'm going to add 2 more little dimensionals on here just to kind of help hold it in place. Here we go. Now I'm going to put my greeting on. There you go. So it just gave it a little bit of like that messy kind of feel. And I'm going to do dimensionals on the back of my little ruler or tape measure. And there's my piece for that's going to go on my front. Pretty easy, right? So you could do any tools, any color combination, that sort of thing, of what you wanted to do or how you wanted to do it. This one, I think I had like the red paintbrush on it. There's no right way or wrong way. It's just kind of adding it. But now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm not gluing this part down. So I'm only going to be gluing half of it. So I'm going to do this bottom half. And like you did earlier, I'm going to try to stay to the conservative side a little bit here. And I know this is going to be centered on the front of my card. So I'm looking at the score lines on either side and making sure that's hitting the center of where my die is. Make sure that glue's set up there a little bit. And there's my easel card. I have some rustic metallic dots. So for me, for my packet, instead of the cork, you're probably going to get some extra rustic metallic dots here. And I'm going to just add a couple little dots around. There we go.
That card went together really quickly. I thought that it was going to be super hard, but I think I totally want to make one of those.
Yep, it's so easy. Just have that little bit of easel there to make it nice and quick. So it's like one that's a little bit more masculine that kind of goes with the sweet kind of thing of the tools, and then one that you can pretty much do and give to anybody, right?
And if you got like okay, I'm thinking now, if you got like a mom that's like the handyman in the house or the handy person, you could use the letters MOM and like Happy Mother's Day and do that same type of a thing. Or maybe you want to change this color scheme a little bit more like the pencil card. So cute, because we've got the mini alphabet dies would be cute.
That would be very cute. I did see someone make a card with this where all of the tools, they did them in pinks.
That's the nice thing about the stamps, right? Because you could stamp them any color you want. You don't, if you use a paper, they're maybe a little more on the masculine side, but if you use the stamps, the world is your oyster there. So
exactly. Right. So there are my two cards. So another fabulous month of fantastic cards. I just love spending time with you and doing this with you. I can't imagine doing this with anybody else. You make this fun.
Same. And I'm glad that you guys watched till the end. And of course, what we always say, if you like what we do, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate you for that. And let's just talk briefly about next month. We've got a new catalog. And I know if you're a demonstrator and you got your catalog, or if you're a customer and your catalog came early, on page 50 of the new catalog, we're going to be using the Country Flowers. Well, it's in the Country Woods suite of products. Beautiful. And we're going to do something with the Country Flowers stamp set and dies. So I'm looking forward to that. And
I have the stamp set right here. Do you want me to grab it?
Sure.
Oh, give me a second.
I have the catalog open, but I can't show you the inside of the catalog until it goes live. And
that's all right. I have the stamp set right here.
It's so pretty.
Pretty?
Yeah, super pretty.
It's so pretty. And I love the fact that there's so much mixed greeting on this, right? So there's with heartfelt sympathy, because we always need sympathy cards, even though we don't want to need them, but we do. Best friend ever. So lucky to know you, sending love. And then there's like this little flower market that's super cute in there as well. So I think that this is a nice set because you can do you could do anything with it.
Yeah, it's really pretty. It's really pretty. And the colors in the paper are so soft and pretty.
Love it.
Oh, I thought you told me to shut up.
No, I was like, yes, girlfriend.
So pretty. Yeah, so pretty. And we have a little I was gonna say there's a new color is in there. So yeah,
Mhm.
so pretty. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. So sign
Yep.
up on between May 1st and May
Mhm.
the 10th. Yes, for the next month.
Now we will be out of the country
Yeah.
during that time. So if we don't respond to you right away, just be aware that we may not be available. We will be on the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip to Mexico,
Yes.
which I'm so excited about. And so we may not respond to you until like May 5th or 6th, just because we are out between May 1st and 4th. But we will respond to you as soon as we get back. But we will have everything scheduled to go live on May 1st, if not maybe even a day or two before,
Yeah, I'm
just to
thinking
kind of
we
get it
might
out
go
there.
a little early, huh?
Yeah.
Just because then we'll know that it's out there. So
Yeah, it's up and running. So if you're watching this video and you are interested in the country flowers, please sign up. And we hope to see you next month. And we hope to see what you're doing. So please remember to share with us.
yes, please.
Okay. That's it for me. I think I'm all good. You good?
I'm good. Thank you, everybody.